Hello YouTube. Today I want to talk to you about bodybuilding and its relationship with pain. I think that we can all agree that there is a warrior-like mentality attached to the sport of bodybuilding and the pursuit of a bigger and healthier body. And it's something that's always been promoted, it's something that's always been there. It's within the culture. And it dictates that one must push through the pain. And not only that, one must seek the pain. You will hear all the time people say no pain, no gain. And even though it's sort of a meme at this point, it has some truth to it, meaning that you will have people who firmly believe that to make progress in terms of hypertrophy, you need to suffer. And that by itself is an issue. You see, it has created an entire culture that seeks pain. And when it comes to muscular development, the pain that you can feel when you train is, for the most part, largely irrelevant to the muscle growth. For example, the pain of a pump. Depending on who you are, first off, some people don't feel any pain when they get a pump. And also, a pump by itself will not make you grow, right? It's metabolic stress in a sense. It has some properties that are going to improve growth, but it's not the most important aspect of it for naturals. If you're not a natural, yeah, the pump is making you grow. The pump is a nice bonus on the side, and you might end up thinking to yourself, well, it's what's making me grow. In truth, it's all of the hormones that these guys take that make them grow. It's not the pumps. But for naturals, the principles of intensity are going to be much more important than the pain you feel. So that's for muscles, right? Because outside of that, the other types of pain you can feel could be, for example, being sore. But anyone who's trained for a large amount of time will tell you that soreness at some point just completely disappears. Your body doesn't get sore anymore, or when it does, it's rare and it doesn't last long. If you are 5 years into your training and you still routinely get sore, it tells me one thing: either you're not consistent at all, or you have a tendency to switch programs, meaning that you keep giving your body new stimulus and you think it's making you grow faster, and it's not. It's the opposite way around. So those are the positive applications of pain when it comes to bodybuilding. As far as the negatives, you will also have noticed, if you have spent enough time within the culture, to realize that the negatives of pain have been turned into pseudo positives, in the sense that joint pain, uh, any type of thing that indicates that you're doing something wrong, anything that is a sign of your body to tell you that you are mistreating it and that it eventually will break, all of these have been transformed into good things. Modern bodybuilding will have you push through these because no pain, no gain, and you have to show what you're made of. And you will have quickly realized with all of what I just quoted that it's all stupid, it's all dangerous, and it's all for nothing because it's to create an image. I will talk about that a lot on this channel, but because of the substances that pro bodybuilders and just enhanced bodybuilders take, they will get size from those products regardless of what they do. And that creates a vacuum for efforts. And the efforts need to be put in, because if you want to sell the image and the idea that you worked for those muscles, well, you need to have something to show for. And the easiest emotion or empathic feeling that you can actually use to market that is pain, because pain is very easily to understand, it's easy to perceive in others, and it's something that across the board we're all very sensitive to. And with the way bodybuilding has been walking around pain and discussing pain, they managed to turn it into a positive. And it's a positive that has become something that is openly showcased, openly spoke from a positive light, and all of that I think is extremely detrimental, because at first the pursuit of a bigger, stronger body should be associated with the pursuit of health, and they come hand in hand for naturals. You can achieve a very good looking body which is functional and strong to a certain degree and while being in perfect health. And actually, the creation of that body is what's going to trigger that health, because your immune system is going to be boosted, your morale is going to be high all the time. So the spirit and the body go together, and it creates something that's as close to perfection as you can get. But if you have that modern bodybuilding approach of embracing pain, you're not going to be able to achieve that. And I'm going to link that to my personal approach of bodybuilding, which I call pain-free bodybuilding. For me, you see, you're not supposed to feel pain when you bodybuild. You can feel a degree of muscular pain, but for the most part, as I explained, it's not going to be really there. And you certainly shouldn't be feeling any tendon pain when you train. That is the thing that you want to avoid the most. Why? Because it's an expression of structural weakness. It's an expression of structural distress. It's not the muscles that are in pain, it's the joints and the bones. And that's no good, because these guys don't really grow as fast as the muscles. So it's not like you're getting any better gains from doing that. You're just beating yourself up. And once a tendon is immobilized by pain, the muscle surrounding it is almost impossible to recruit. So you shot yourself in the foot. And that is, I think, a circle of destruction that a lot of people are stuck into, where they fail to realize that the pain that they neglect to take care of is a message from their body telling them that eventually the musculature is not going to be recruited anymore, because the structure that allows for the recruitment is going to give. And if you can avoid that, you can continue making gains. And it should be simple, it should, but it truly isn't. And so in this playlist, I want to share with you my methods of pain-free bodybuilding. And they include structural integrity, knowing how to direct tonnage, applying good technique to trigger certain muscles and spare the joints. But all of that hinge on the notion that there is a right and a wrong way to do things. And if you are not on board with that, you're not going to be on board with what I have to tell you. Because for me, for natural bodybuilders, it is absolutely essential to be able to control the body so that you can repeat movements week in and week out, again and again, with no pain. For me, if you deadlift, even if visually your form is good and the next day you have lower back pain and you're beat up, you either don't know how to deadlift or you misprogrammed and you overreached. You need to be able to replicate the sessions all the time. A session that you can only do once every 15 days because it beats you up too much is a bad session, because it doesn't promote tonnage progression and accumulation. That goes in a completely different direction compared to the weird race for muscles that bodybuilding has become. For me, I see it as a very long-term investment. I don't care how much time it takes me. I'm patient enough that I recognize that I would much rather get there 5 years later, but with a body that is perfectly structurally sound and healthy, than with completely destroyed joints and a complete inability to move. For me, it's what I want. I want to conserve that ability to move through space. And if I can do it with muscles, I'll do it with muscles. But the most important thing is to preserve that. So I'm going to leave you with that. This is sort of an opening, but I have a lot of people who ask me, how do you preserve your lower back? How do you preserve your elbows, neck, all of that? And I have answers for all of these questions because I apply all of these principles in my training, and that's what allows me to train so much, so often, with no breaks and only 1 day off a week, with no deload weeks. So I want to share all of that with you. And I'm going to leave you with that. Understand that pain is inevitable, but blindly seeking pain for the sake of pain is stupid. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.